Hey, I am working on my end of 2025 piece about horror films and the trends that have been in them for the year. And I just had this idea as I was writing about the 80s and the Friday the 13th series that I thought I might just record a quick video on instead of popping over on social media and making a post. And I can post this later. I uh, I was thinking about the Friday the 13th series in particular, and there was a kind of response to that was assuming that the audience for them, which presumably was teenagers, wanted to see them because they wanted to see the kind of blood and guts and those kinds of things. And, there's pretty famously, Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert had a meltdown about the original Friday the 13th, and they were definitely not alone. But I started thinking about it, and I think maybe part of what I haven't really heard expressed as one of the things that helps explain why Friday the 13th and a lot of the films that it inspired would have been so attractive to a teenage audience at the time was that there's kind of a subversive, transgressive, almost parody quality to them. If you think about it in terms of kind of what was going on in culture at the time, it's the time of say no to drugs. You have the rise of the Christian right into American politics and into American culture in maybe not a totally new way, but in a new kind of concentration that hadn't happened for some decades before. And I think there's a little bit of kind of a wink and a nod in a lot of those films, if you think about it. Uh, you know, they're oftentimes talked about as being kind of puritanical in their kind of moral outlook and their perspective, that all of the kids who are kind of breaking the societal rules, the idea that they're having sex, they're doing drugs, they're you know metalheads and all of that stuff, all kind of stereotypically outside of the mainstream, or maybe not even outside the mainstream, but they're all engaged in kind of behaviors or ways of being kids that at the time were kind of frightening. And I think there might be kind of an aspect to that maybe that is true in something that is behind what the filmmakers kind of, even in their own minds, their own subconsciouses, these kinds of things. But there's the other side of it, that is, I haven't really heard anybody ask the question about whether or not the audience for that, the teenagers, were responding to it the way they were, because in a way, like, it's kind of a parody. Like, you're seeing on the screen the thing that, if you're a teenager at the time, the adult world is telling you is like the end of the world and the end of your life. And you're kind of seeing it in motion. You're seeing it on the screen. And it's ridiculous, right? Those movies are part of why they're enjoyable. Part of what makes them fun is that they're ridiculous. And so this isn't something that I've really seen written about much or heard people talk about much. And I just wanted to kind of drop it, and see maybe if anybody else had any ideas, whether or not that seems like it has any merit to anybody. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to go back to working on my year-end piece, and I'll talk to you later.